Today in the crypto space, we see the market kind of going sideways. Bitcoin getting a bit of relief to the upside at about $64,600 and Ethereum slightly above that $3,100 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, kind of going sideways as well. A mix of green and red. We have HBAR coming back down, Phantom going up, IMX coming down, and Algo taking a bit of a dip. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but of course I want to focus on Bitcoin because there's a lot riding on Bitcoin, at least holding steady and going sideways for the altcoins to get a bit of relief. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, the market is looking okay. We see the overall market cap is getting a bit of a pop to the upside today at about 2.5 trillion. Bitcoin got a bit of relief to the upside. Guys, if you are on the Discord, you would have noticed that today I did post a great setup, short term, quick scalp to the upside, definitely in the green. In fact, at the current moment, I exited that position because I'm like, you know what? Why be greedy? A quick short, quick long, quick scalp to the upside. Sometimes just being able to, farm a bit of cash on the side, a bit of dry powder, getting in and out of trades is the way to do it. Don't be greedy, guys. But Bitcoin got a bit of relief, not a huge move, but a good little relief to the upside. Ethereum doing the same thing, and the rest of the market pretty much following Bitcoin's lead. But the question is, is Bitcoin going to stay within this sideways consolidation? It's very important that when you hear bears, or even bulls for that matter, speak about targets, that we also keep in mind structure, because at the current moment Bitcoin is very clearly within a structure, and the market's going to want to keep it in that structure. But as soon as we break that structure, that's when volatility really picks up. That's where the opportunities are, especially if you're in the right side, going long. If the market breaks up, bullish or bearish, going short, that's where you can get the majority of the rewards. However, while Bitcoin is going sideways, there is a lot of predictability in the market, in the sense that we know that there's a clear range. We know that Bitcoin forms bottoms, forms tops, goes sideways, up and down, straight up and down, and the altcoin market follows Bitcoin. So at the current moment, although Bitcoin is only up 0.5%, some altcoins did get a nice bounce. Look at BNB looking okay. I know Solana's still down, but it was down much more than where it is right now. So it did get a bit of a pop to the upside. And you can see these little pops up are really, really nice. Like SHIB, I know it's still down for the day, but it did get some relief. It was much more, red earlier this morning. So not bad of a scenario. Tron is looking pretty good. Tron is usually a good indication that there's individuals, moving stables around, because of course of the transaction fees being very, very cheap. So that's a pretty good thing to see. Polygon doing not bad. Polygon not bad. Getting a bit of relief to the upside, 1%. Okay, given the fact that it was grinding down, we basically broke a bit of a trend to the downside on the short term. But generally speaking, guys, we're still kind of sideways. You can see the market is kind of sideways. Uniswap got a bit of relief to the upside, 1.7%. Leo's waking up, 1.6%, and you can see this little tad of relief gave us a scalping opportunity on the 1 hour, pretty much. But big picture, the market is still within range, respecting Bitcoin's range. Bitcoin is still within that range. Now, the question is, are we going to start seeing some real volatility out of these altcoins? Because the theory is that as Bitcoin goes sideways, traders start hunting volatility. We start looking for volatilities. And nowadays we use meme coins for that volatility. But we know that, meme coins at the end of the day, have their risk factor. They do have risk factor. But can we get into altcoins and still see volatility and get into some of those altcoins that have good fundamentals? And that's what we all are waiting for. That altcoin season that gives these altcoins a bit of life. And really, we're seeing good signs. Right now we're seeing a lot of these altcoins wake up just a little bit, and we're seeing Bitcoin still within range. So we got to be very patient here and still find those bottom dwelling altcoins. Kaspa's looking okay, to be honest. I wouldn't expect Kaspa to come down even further. I would expect a bit of a bounce from Kaspa, to be honest. It's down 4.4%. It was down much more earlier on today, so got a bit of relief. But still, big picture, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaspa got a nice bounce to the upside. So, Theta Network doing good, nice relief, 4%. So on and so forth. Phantom looking great within range. This is not bad. When you see clear range, guys, you want to be able to get into a trade with a great risk to reward ratio, and that's the name of the game. Right now we're seeing a descending channel here. Now I don't like diagonals, but if it was horizontal, I would definitely consider getting into a long position here on Phantom, especially on a pullback. Bonk looking really good, up 14%, and the market, guys, in general is doing okay. Like, you know what, it's still like kind of going sideways, but it's not bad for today. Look at Say up 7%. Algorand down, but it did rally up significantly. Now it's in a retracement. Was that proof of life for Algo? Guys know that I've been talking about Algo, guys, that Algo needs to wake up. And is it time? Is it finally time for Algo to wake up? It's still up 17.5% for the last 7 days, which is not bad. Yesterday, it did come down, and let's see what it does. If it holds support. Quant is at the bottom of the range, guys. It could, if this thing's going to be range bound, it's at the bottom. Is it going to go back up and test highs? Is it going to go sideways, for a little longer? It could be possible. What else do we have? Kind of dips, and we got a little bit of relief today, but that's about it. Wormhole waking up 20%. Great move to the upside. Time to get in, maybe. What else do we have? A little bit of a rally up here. 25% for Safe, not bad, after it reached a nice little bottom here. Nice, some sideways, and then all of a sudden a bit of relief. That's pretty cool. CFX waking up a little bit, top of the range, maybe get a bit of a rejection before we can get in. But generally speaking here, guys, we can see that the market is kind of like indecisive, fairly sideways. This is why today I decided to get into a short-term play. Nothing major, still looking for DCA opportunities. There's some good projects that are in that zone for DCAing, but ultimately, guys, I'm waiting. I'm going to be waiting very, very patiently. And the reason why is Bitcoin. And we'll talk about Bitcoin. Guys, let's get right into the charts. Let's get right into it. Bitcoin, what is it doing? Pretty much nothing. Really. Big picture, nothing. Still within range. In fact, it's in the mid zone. It's pretty much in the chop zone, right in the center of this, consolidation, this channel, descending channel, whatever you want to call it. This bull flag, at the end of the day, statistically, should break out bullish. But until then, what do we expect from Bitcoin? Continuation sideways. That's all it is. All right, guys, let's take a look. So what I mentioned yesterday, earlier on, was the fact that, we have to remain very calm as long as Bitcoin stays within this range, right? We stay within this top and these bottoms, we can expect that Bitcoin is going to maintain this trend. But as we continue in this trend, eventually the statistical probability of a breakout increases. We could go out for a while. We can definitely go out, but eventually either we continue up or we Bart Simpson to the downside. Now, as we speak, I am comfortable trading this range. I am comfortable because we have many data points now to work with. We have a low, we have this low, this high, and this high. If we come back down here, risk to reward for a long is very healthy. As I mentioned in the past, long in this bottom is actually healthy. And on the short term, this retracement this morning came down here, and I also felt very confident getting into a long position on this. Why? Because on short-term time frames, you can see that a lot of the momentum and everything did reset. Impulsive move, retracement, maybe we go for another impulsive move. Doesn't mean that we're going to go for a higher high. Okay, could be possible, but from a short-term perspective, getting into a long position after a dip like this, you got to get defensive, guys, because we don't know exactly what's going to be happening here. If we break out of this previous high, it looks pretty good, right? Definitely looks really good, right? Very likely that we go back to the range of the highs. But what about if we don't? What about if we keep on coming down? And that's where the if I have an issue with. I have an issue with that if, because I'm not willing to take chance. Whenever I have if and I have this 50-50 shot type of scenario, either you're going to get into lower time frames and scalp the lower ranges, or you are going to just wait patiently for a signal. So at this current moment, there's no real major signal other than this, and it's a pretty decent one. Let's take out momentum. You can see that price action has been coming down. And then all of a sudden we got a bit of follow through, and then we can see that ultimately the expansion to the downside still exists right here on the daily. You can see the expansion waves still pushing down. The momentum is in the chop zone. Sideways price action is of the agenda as long as we see the purple line, which is the RSI, in the chop zone. Guys, I don't expect any major moves as of now. Expect consolidations until we break trend or break structure, and there is no break of structure, so I'm happy trading the range. We see that the trend right now, the trend oscillator, you know, we got a bit of a fake out here. I thought we were going to get that EMA cross with one little green histogram bar, but guess what, guys? It opened up again, and it's kind of doing this. You know how many people get wrecked in this type of scenario, guys? It happens. That's why we wait for confluence, right? Even though we went from dark to light, dark to light means, we're going to get that rally, dark to light, and it does look like eventually we will get a continuation up. Probability is that we do. In the meantime, we did come down for that dip. Now, that dip could be a nice confirmation low, to be honest, and I'll show you what I mean on lower time frames, but that could be an ultimate signal that this was the low in the short term, right? That this was the low. We come down to get that confirmation low, and that we're going to go for another continuation up. Okay, so let's keep an eye on the range. Now, if we break below this thick yellow line, horizontal support, guys, we're coming down. 52,000 is very possible. If we go to the top and we break above this dotted line, and at this point, I'm comfortable putting it as a thick line, a solid line. Let's call it a solid line. Why? Because if we break above, guys, we're going to break up for this bull flag and expect a bullish price target, right? So right now, trade the range. Let's go into the 4-hour here quick, and you can see that we did see a nice divergence from here all the way to here. The momentum was shifting up, and then we got the follow through. We saw the price actually take into account the change of direction in the momentum. Then we came up here and we got a bit of a dip, and then I'm like, you know what? We didn't get oversold. I'm sorry, overbought on the momentum, right? Although we got that bearish signal here, I get it, but we didn't get overbought. So it's likely that this is just going to be a pullback, a corrective move, and that we could get a bounce. Now, this little bounce is really good. Why? Ultimately, is because, all it is a potential scenario where we could be creating a consolidation here. And a consolidation here on the 4-hour in this current state suggests that we could be looking for a cup and handle. Now, the hourly looks really good. I know that's a lower time frame that I'm not really usually trading on the 1 hour, but it looks a lot clearer to me. Even though on the 4-hour it's still fair game. What I like is that we got the bullish divergence again. That thick line, and of course here it does look a lot more congested. But we got the follow through. We got the back test. Hit the golden pocket 618. Now if we get that cup right here, or that handle formation, some sort of consolidation right around this zone, it's not bad, because we did wick down to the golden pocket. We didn't necessarily invalidate. We closed the candles, the bodies at the 0.5 fib, which is the invalidation of the cup and handle. So I'm kind of happy that we're holding here, and we got the bullish divergence here on the 4-hour, on the 1 hour, lower lows on the price action, and higher lows on the RSI, and the momentum was going in the direction of the RSI, which is the orange line, and the expansion was definitely tapering off. So guys, I got lots of signals. By the way, guys, I did post this setup on the Discord right as it was happening, right around this level, and then I'm like, guys, if you want to de-risk on the short-term scalp, guys, I understand, because this little move to the upside was really, really good. And you can see that we have the EMA right here and a bit of a volume gap that could act as resistance. Now if we come back down, you might want to re-enter on a double bottom with the bullish divergence still intact. With 3 drives of bullish divergence, you get the opportunity to get right back in at about this level right here, 63,361, something like that. Now what I also noticed that put the confirmation on my radar is the green dot. We got the bullish divergence, guys. We got that beautiful bullish divergence. In fact, this green line that is part of the indicator itself, the green line shows up when the divergence is confirmed. I front run that. I basically noticed that it was diverging before the green line. Then we got the green dot and we got in with that confirmation. So really good stuff here. Bullish divergence. The indicator came in clutch, of course, with that nice indication of that divergence here on the 1 hour. Now the question is, do we continue with this scenario? Back to the 4-hour. This confirmation low is very healthy. It confirms that this is the low, right? In the short term, within the structure of the bull flag. If this was the low, this needs to confirm the higher low. Higher low, we break this previous high, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. It's likely that we come back to the top of the range of the bull flag. That's how we have to play this. Now, if we make a lower low, if we start coming down and start breaking these lows, not a good look, guys. We're breaking down the whole entire wedge. The wedge is bearish, and so on and so forth. This is how you play the range. You got to be able to get in and get out within the range and save yourself at any levels of risk. So again, we have this horizontal right here that I'm worried about, because of course we can come here and get that, you know, rejection for this cup and handle type of formation that would break out bullish really nicely and get to the top of the range. Okay, if we break out of this, we're back to these levels, and that's another level to de-risk out of any longs that you may be in. And you can see that ultimately we didn't get oversold, or overbought, sorry. So that means that we have the possibility of still getting overbought. I believe that this is just a retracement on this impulsive move, and then retrace, and then go for another impulsive to the upside. And you can see on the 4 hour, you know, the trend is not too confirmed just yet. We're not getting an EMA cross. We're not getting that green dot just yet like we did in the past when we got this expansion, or the red dot when we got the dip. But we're there in that sense that, look, I would anticipate some confirmation soon. And I guess, again, on that 1 hour, if we came back down to the bottom of the range, to double bottom, and confirm another, you know, 3 drives of bullish divergence, I would be very, very, very confident in getting into another long with a healthier risk to reward ratio, considering that if we break below, again, the $60,000 mark with some volume and confirmation, I could put a stop loss in and, you know, mitigate all my losses for potential long, right? So I'm still thinking about a long, because within range, we could go back to the top of the range. And I'm still thinking about a long because ultimately we're in a bull run. We're in a bullish rally. How deep do you think that we're going to go here on Bitcoin? Now, as far as the altcoin goes, I know I'm focusing on Bitcoin today. That's why I'm getting into a little bit more detail. But Bitcoin relates to the altcoins, of course, because this price action is quite boring, and we hunt for volatility. The one way to do it is add leverage, like what I did today. Get into lower time frames, add a bit of leverage so that you can, you know, scalp the ranges. I get it. However, another way to do it is consider getting into altcoins. And altcoins, you don't need any leverage because they're low caps. They're going to have the volatility. The thing is that you have to understand that relationship with the Bitcoin dominance. The dominance right now in Bitcoin is still there. It's still kind of there. Bitcoin is still showing strength, which means that, you know, that relationship is not clear. Are altcoins going to get into the driver's seat right now? If not, Bitcoin pop to the upside, altcoins might bleed out again, or at least go sideways, while Bitcoin goes to the top of the range. This is why lately I'm building my spot positions in altcoins, but I'm willing to get into quick scalps on Bitcoin because of the clarity that this overall structure gives us to trade. So ultimately, I'm hoping for the altcoin season. I am preparing for the altcoin season, but I don't mind getting in and out of the market with quick trades in the meantime to keep my portfolio active. All right, guys. If I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. Definitely helps out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.